Good morning, everyone. We are the Team 8. And now, we're going to discuss to you on the topic Chapter 8, HTML and CSS. But before that, we're going to read the learning outcome. By the end of this module, students were able to discuss and differentiate HTML from CSS, discuss the history of HTML and what is it used for, identify the 3 ways to use CSS, discuss and explain CSS properties and how browser process CSS, create simple programs in HTML and CSS, and lastly, evaluate the output of the code fragments having HTML and CSS. Have you ever heard the meaning of HTML and what is it used for? So if not, this is the meaning of HTML. What is the meaning of HTML? HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. From the word hypertext, allows a user to click a link and be redirected to a new page referenced by that link. Second, HTML describes the structure of web pages using markup. So meaning, from the word markup, this is the text that appears between two pointed brackets, like for example, the open tags and the closing tags, and content is everything else. Next, HTML are the building blocks of pages. So why HTML called a building blocks of HTML pages? Because it established the overall structure of an HTML document, like the headings, paragraph, and table, etc. Next, HTML elements are represented by tags. HTML represented by tags. So, it is the keywords enclosed in angle brackets. They can be the opening tags, like for example, the paragraph, close and open tags. In the next topic, you can see what is heading, paragraph, and table, and their symbols. Just like the headings, it can be heading 1, heading 2, and up to 6. And the paragraph is just only the P. And table, not changeable. Browsers do not display the HTML tags but use them to render the content of the page. Means the focus is on the actual context, such as text, images, videos, and etc. that the tags enclose or reference. Next, this is the history of HTML. HTML was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in late 1997, but was not released officially, which was published in 1995 as HTML 2.0 to HTML 4.01. Was published in late 1999 and was a major version of HTML. HTML is a very evolving markup language and has evolved with various versions updating. Long before its revised standards and specifications are carried in, each version has allowed its users to create web pages in a much easier and quicker way and make sites very efficient. So meaning, HTML is not a static language but rather a dynamic one that undergoes constant development and updates. So the HTML 1.0 was released in 1993 with the intention of sharing information which can be readable and accessible by web browsers. But not much of developers were involved in creating websites. So the language was also not growing. meaning the HTML 1.0 is not evolving in language meaning and the websites. Just like you're still in the knowledge that you know and it's not growing. Then comes the HTML 2.0, published in 1995, which contained all the features of HTML1 along with a few additional features which remain as the standard markup language for designing and creating websites until January 1997 and refined various core features of HTML. Means the meaning of HTML 2.0, it has the features of HTML1 and adding new ones to enhance web page creation capabilities, making them more robust and efficient for web development. This remained the standard markup language for designing and creating websites until 1995. Then comes the HTML 3.0, where Dave Raggett, who introduced a fresh paper or draft on HTML. It included improved and new features of HTML, giving more powerful characteristics for webmasters in designing web pages. But these powerful features of new HTML slowed down the browsers in applying further improvements. So why? Because more and more people were getting into the HTML game around now. And while the previous standards offered some decent abilities to webmasters, as they became known, they thirsted for more abilities and tags. They wanted to enhance the look of their sites. This is where trouble started. A company called Netscape was the clear leader in the browser market at the time, with a browser called Netscape Navigator. They introduced new proprietary tags and attributes into their Netscape Navigator browser. These new abilities were called Netscape extension tags. These new abilities were called Netscape extension tags. This caused big problems as other browsers of these tags so as not to be left behind but could not get their browser to display things the same way. This meant that if you design a page with Netscape extension tags, the page would look bad in other browsers. This caused confusion and irritation for the markup pioneers. Then comes the HTML 4.01, which is widely used and was a successful version of HTML before HTML 5.0, which is currently released and used worldwide. HTML5 can be said for as an extended version of HTML 4.0, which was published in the year. Means in HTML 4.01, it did not completely discard HTML 4.01, but rather enhanced it. So as you can see in this picture, this is a simple HTML document. You can see here the defines document to be HTML's root element of an HTML page contains meta information about the document. Specify a title for the document, contains the visible page of content, defines the large heading, defines the paragraph. Next, HTML tags. HTML tags are elements named surrounded by angle bracket, like what we have discussed a while ago, the open tags and the closing tags. So next, web browsers. The purpose of a web browser is to read HTML documents and display them. The browser does not display the HTML tags but uses them to determine how to display the documents, like this at the side picture. The focus is on the actual content such as text, image, videos, etc. that the tags enclose or reference.
HTML editors. Web pages can be created and modified by using professional HTML editors. Example: Notepad++, TextEdit, Visual Studio Code. How to writing HTML using Notepad. Step 1. Open Notepad++. Step 2. Write the HTML. Step 3. Save the HTML page. Use HTML or HTML as extension name. Step 4. Click Run. Launch in Firefox. Browser depends on what is installed in the computer. Basic formatting tags. Headings. Defined with the H1 to H6. Tags where H1 define the most important heading. Example: H1, this is the heading 1 through H1. H2, this is the heading 2 through H2. H3, this is the heading 3 to H3. Paragraphs defined with the P tag. Example: P, this is defined with the P tag. Example: P, this is the first paragraph with P, this is the second paragraph. Links defined with the A tag. Example: ahref equals second page HTML, second page. Image defined with the img tag. Example: image src equals isu logo .jpeg. List defined with the ul unordered or bullet list, or the ol ordered or numbered list. Tag followed by li tags, which is list item. Example: yung ul li, which is coffee, to li which is tea, to li which is milk, to ul. Empty HTML elements. An HTML element using consists of a start tag and end tag with the content inserted in between. HTML elements with no content are called empty elements. BR is an empty element without a closing tag. The BR tag defines in a break. Example: first line, BR. Second line, HTML attributes. Attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. All HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional information about an element. Attributes are always specified in the start tag. Attributes usually come in name or value pairs like name. Example: href and alt attributes. ahref equals second page h.html, second page yun. src, width, height, and alt attributes. Image src equals isu logo.jpg. Alt equals isu logo width 500, height 600. Example. Another example. Style attribute. P style equals color red. This is your paragraph. Title attributes. P title equals I'm a tooltip. HTML comments. Syntax. Write your comment here. Do not display at the moment. Image border equals 0 src equals isu logo.jpg alt equals isu logo.
HTML formatting refers to the use of HTML tags to control the appearance and structures of text on a web page. First, bold text, a typographical style that makes the text appear thicker and darker than the surrounding regular text. Emphasizes contents high significance or urgency such as warnings or key points. Italic text, a font style where letters slant to the right used to add emphasis, differentiate text, or indicate title and foreign words. Emphasis, which signifies the endorsed text has a stressed emphasis. Mark text. Mark text refers to content enclosed within marked element. This element is used to highlight or emphasize a portion text. Small text, used to present side comments and small print such as copyright, notices, disclaimers, or legal text. Its primary function is semantic, indicating the nature of the content. Deleted text, used to semantically mark text that has been deleted, tracking changes, source code diffs, correcting information. An HTML table is defined with the table tag. An HTML table is defined with the table tag, and each table row is defined with the tr tag. A table header is defined with the th tag. A table data is defined with the td tag. Adding border. Border attributes is used to add border around the table cells. Merging cell refers to the process of combining two or more adjacent cells within an HTML table into a single large cell. Call span. This attribute is used to merge cells horizontally across multiple columns. HTML style refers to the visual presentation of web page element controlled primarily through cascading style sheets or CSS.
HTML text color. The color property defines the text color for an HTML element. Example, P style color red. This is a paragraph P. HTML fonts. The font family property defines the font to be used for an HTML element. Example, P style font family career. This is a paragraph P. HTML text size. The font size property defines the text size for an HTML element. Example, P style font size 160%. This is a paragraph P. HTML text alignment. The text align property defines the horizontal text alignment for an HTML element. Example, P style text align center. This is a paragraph P. HTML table width. The width property in HTML tables is used to define the width of the entire table or individual columns. Example, table style width 100% table. Styling HTML with CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on screen, paper, or in other media. It controls the layout of multiple web pages all at once. CSS can be added to HTML elements in three ways. Inline by using the style attribute in HTML elements. Internal by using style element in the head section. External by using an external CSS file. Inline CSS. An inline CSS is used to apply unique style to a single HTML element. An inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. Example, H1 style color blue. This is a blue heading H1. Internal CSS. An internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of HTML page within a style element. External CSS. An external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages. With an external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing one file. To use an external sheet, add a link to it in the head section of the HTML page.
Border. The CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. The example, table, TD, border, 1px solid block. If you want the borders to collapse into one border, add the CSS border collapse property. Example, table, TD, border, 1px solid block, border collapse, CSS cell padding and alignment cell. Cell padding specifies the space between the content and its borders. To set the padding, use the CSS padding property. Example, TD, padding, 15px. By default, table headings are bold and centered. To align the text, use the CSS text align property. Example, text alignment left. CSS fonts. The CSS color property defines the text color to be used. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used. The CSS font size property defines the text size to be used. Doctype HTML. Head, style. The color, blue. Font family, Verdana. Font size, 300%. The color, red. The font family, Courier. Font size, 160%. Style, head, body. This is a heading, H1P. This is a paragraph, P, body, HTML.